could I give up so much of myself for a man like you? You asked me to do whatever it takes to ensure you wear the crown. And I did. But I made a sacrifice for a man who has no value for promises or words that he speaks.
Hi guys, welcome back again to the YouTube channel. It's your favorite girl Talk with Fresh again, and I'm here with the season 2 or the part 2 of The King's Heart. Okay, so from here, if you have not watched the part 1, please click on the video icon in my video. You would see the part 1. Watch it so that you can understand what I am talking about in the part 2. Okay, you cannot understand this part 2 if you have not gone to watch the part 1. Okay, now let's continue. Okay, now I've already introduced everybody who acted this movie in the part 1, so I'm not going to do that again in the part 2. I'm just going to go straight to it. Now the part 2 starts with obviously Olama has been rejected by Olama, who is Ruth Kadiri, has been rejected by the Queen Mother. She refused that Ifeme, her son, who is Daniel Etim, would marry Olama. Okay, so now guess who appears? Nobody other than Icheku. Icheku is Ujam Chukwunonso. He's the Dibia that I spoke about in the part 1. Now Icheku appears and Olama is so surprised to see Icheku. She's like, Icheku, what are you doing here? And he's like, shh, don't let anybody know that I am Icheku because they would all rush down here for me. Don't let them know. Then Icheku finally opens up to Olama and tells Olama that he actually is the first son of the king. I know, right? You guys did not see that twist coming. Yes, I'm sure nobody saw it coming. Now, Icheku happens to be the first son of the king, and he's back for his throne. Now, Olama was so annoyed at Icheku because she felt like Icheku allowed her to make a major mistake of her life. She felt like Icheku knew that Ifeme was going to marry the princess, the crown princess, which was Oman Nadi, also known as Kosiso. And he still allowed her to go ahead to make the sacrifice, which is sacrificing her womb to the gods to make Ifeme the king. Now, Icheku was trying to explain to her that, see, I am a human being like you. I cannot read the future. Yes, the gods allow me once in a while to know what happens in the future, but I cannot read the future. I can only read minds. I cannot read what goes on in people's future. So that was when Ichekuna brought up the suggestion that Olama should go ahead and marry him. And Olama rejected. She was like, no, how can I marry you? I am barren. I will never be able to give birth to a child. And Icheku was like, I don't care about all that. Just marry me. It was so beautiful to watch. Okay. So guys, let's continue with the story. Now, Icheku marries Olama and becomes the queen. And obviously, Ifeme was filled with jealousy, he was filled with rage. Even his wife that he married, who is Oman Nadi. Now, that one wanted to be queen by all means. She was angered by the fact that she was not made queen. Like, who is Olama? Where Kosiso is? Do you get? Who is she? That was what Oman Nadi was feeling like in the movie, okay? She wasn't having it. She was not happy because she felt like what was hers has been taken away from her by Olama. Okay? Now let's go to the next part. Now, the next scene we can actually see is Icheku trying to be like very, when somebody doesn't want wahala in his life, so he invited Ifeme to come out for a hunting trip. And Olama was not having it because she was like, Ifeme does not like you. If you go on this hunting trip, Ifeme will kill you. And I like the bravado from Icheku when he's like, does he know who he is? He cannot kill Icheku now. He can read your mind. And even when he went to invite Ifeme for the hunting trip, he could actually read Ifeme's thoughts when if Ifeme was like, as in, what's this stupid person doing here again? And he could read it. It was so beautiful to see that bravado. And yeah, sha, when they now went for the hunting trip, they now encountered a pregnant woman who was like heavily pregnant. So they decided to, Icheko and Ifeme decided to help out. And when the woman delivered the baby, the woman died immediately she delivered the baby. So Icheko brought home the baby and he gave the baby to Olama, and Olama gladly collected this child because obviously she knew she could no longer give birth to a child, and they officially made the child their son. Now with Icheku, with Ifeme going out with Icheku and seeing how nice Icheku is, Ifeme gradually started finding like a very soft spot for Icheku. I said gradually, it wasn't full because obviously he felt like the love of his life was taken by Icheku. But Ifeme gradually started liking um, Icheku. Now, there was a pact between Icheku and Olama when they newly got married, and Icheku told Olama that she has to be in charge of his food, that he cannot eat anything that has touched the fire or anything that has been cooked with fire. Do you guys understand? So as he told her that she had been keeping to it. So somehow, Kosiso's mother found out about it and told Kosiso about it. So Kosiso went on to meet the queen mother, who is Obi Titus, and told the queen mother that she has found a way of taking back the throne from Ichiku. Now, so what they did was, on a particular day, Olamma was supposed to serve Icheko his lunch or breakfast. They didn't really tell us which. She was just supposed to serve him food. So food and palm wine, I think. So they carried a bit of the palm wine and boiled it on fire and put it in the cup. Do you get? So Olama was not aware of it because obviously she had like a trusted maid to help her with all those, and she unknowingly served it to Icheku, and Icheku ate the food, and the next morning Icheku died because obviously he wasn't meant to eat anything that was cooked with fire. So when Icheku died, trust them, the queen mother and Kosiso to call a panel. They were like all accusing Olama. They were saying Olama was the one who killed Icheku, and the whole village was enraged because they felt that Icheku was a very good king. Icheku brought about so many transformations and changes in the kingdom, and to lose such a king was very painful to them. Not only to them, but other kingdoms, because Icheku was also a healer who healed people in other kingdoms. So they were so pained and they decided to call on their dibia. Now, what I don't understand is how their dibia doesn't see anything. Because if you are seeing or hearing from the gods, you would obviously know that Olama was being framed. But instead, he was calling for Olama's head too, until Ifeme comes up and says that Olama is innocent, that he actually had his mother and his wife planning to kill Icheku. So they were the ones that killed Icheku. So I don't understand how that Dibia was like, he wasn't seeing anything in the movie. Do you get? Yeah. So finally, after Olama was vindicated, Olama came out and pronounced that the Queen Mother should be banished. And what's her name? The Queen, that's Ifeme's wife, the second queen. Ifeme's wife should be buried alive. Now, after that whole scene, we saw Ifeme coming to speak to Olama, trying to get Olama back. And I like the fact that Olama said no, yes, in the most amazing words that she used. She said no and said that Ifeme thinks that he has the power, but no, Ifeme doesn't have nothing. That she actually has the power and she is the one who crowns kings. So she is going to crown her son king. And if after she has crowned her son king and Ifeme is still interested in her, then she will think about it. She might consider it. This movie is beautiful. And funny enough, I like that it was done in parts. It builds suspense, it builds. Ruth Kadiri, take your flowers. I give you your flowers, okay? So please, if you're interested in watching this movie, watch it on Ruth Kadiri 247. Okay. And guys, leave your comments about this movie in the comment section. Thank you.